I want to start out by giving an amazing, huge shout out to the Miami Heat. This is an incredible NBA basketball team, one that hasn't been around a long time, but has faced some difficulties, some trials. And for any NBA team, it is their goal, their purpose to win NBA championships. This team has a long story, a great, amazing tribute to what they've done, the work ethic they put in, everything that Pat Riley, the owner, has done in order to make them a NBA championship team. But before we get into any of that, the successes, the victories they've had, you have to kind of go back and talk about what were some of the things that they had to walk through in order to make it to their end goal, and that's to win an NBA championship. So basically, it starts out back in about 2000 in that year, and basically an amazing player, a center named Alonzo Mourning, came in. He was a center and just dominated the game, one of the best in the game. And so basically, anytime you're trying to reach a big goal, you're trying to move your way to the top, there's a group of people or maybe even one person who kind of paves the way, sets the foundation for the amazing things to come. And so Alonzo Mourning did this. He was somebody who put in the grind, put in the work, was very close with Pat Riley, owner, made a lot of suggestions about who he thought that they should have on the team. It started with a guy named Tim Hardaway, great shooting guard, but again, another building block in order to get them to their greater goal. And so basically, it wasn't until 2006 until we saw a big shift, this big push in order to get them to the playoffs. And it started with a guy named Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade is from Chicago, Illinois. He's a kid who grew up with not much at all, but had huge goals for himself in order to make it to the NBA. He told himself that he wanted to be the best NBA player that had ever lived. Higher than Michael Jordan. That's a huge feat in order to accomplish. Dwyane Wade started his college career out at Marquette here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and just absolutely dominated the court. Took his team to the Final Four for the first time in years. And so clearly you would think that a guy doing all this, scoring lots of points, more than most people in the NCAA, would clearly be maybe a top one, top two pick. But here's the thing, Dwyane Wade was undervalued, was put before other, or wasn't put before others. And so in the draft, he was actually drafted 5 when he was actually predicted to go 1 or 2. And so basically through that, it set a fire in him when he went to the Miami Heat. He was drafted by the Miami Heat in 2004, and in his first season took the Miami Heat to a level that they had never reached before, and that was moving their way from the first round of the playoffs to the second round of the playoffs. A rookie, Dwyane Wade, and his amazing leader with him, Alonzo Mourning, took them from the first round to the second round on a buzzer beater that Dwyane Wade had made. This is unheard of. This is something that doesn't happen as a rookie. And so the next year, you know, as we were talking about that kind of foundation that needed to be built, Dwyane Wade was the one pushing it forward, but they knew in order to make it to their goal, to the bigger goal of winning an NBA championship, it was going to take more than just 2 guys. As we know, the NBA and basketball is a team sport, and so to make that happen, to reach the goal, you need to put pieces into place, put the puzzle together, and see something amazing happen. So what did they do? They went out and they got Shaquille O'Neal from the Lakers. Shaquille O'Neal is known as one of the most dominating centers of all time. This guy dominated the post. He was down there dunking on people, and soon before we knew it, him and Dwyane Wade became a tandem that him and Kobe necessarily weren't at the time. They got in a fight, all these things, and so now Shaq had his new teammate Dwyane Wade. And what did they do? They went to the NBA championship, and from there, the rest was history. Dwyane Wade went down as the MVP of the playoffs and was known as the best playoff performance that may have ever took place in our eyes or in this generation's eyes, next to Michael Jordan. He was compared to Michael Jordan, his goal, his feat, what he wanted. But even bigger than that, the people of that team got to experience their goal of an NBA championship. So let's just take a moment and give it up for Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning, Dwayne Wade, the Miami Heat organization, the coaches, the fans, all these people who were a part of the process in order to see something truly incredible happen. So before we end, I just want to thank them, give them a shout out, give them a clap. This is something that is not easy and some people don't ever get to experience. So let's just give it up for the Miami Heat organization. Thank you, Miami Heat.